Okay, this is Steve Balkin, professor at Roosevelt University, one of the great Maxwell Street figures and historians. Steve, the reason I came down, Sun-Times had an article November 6th of 2009, and there's another one January 20th, 2010, about how the city was going to take over the management of the market, the vendors would be treated better, and there would be stages for the blues man inside. Go ahead. Does any of this come true?
Okay. Well, some of it has come true because I walked through the market today and I saw two musical groups there. So I think they're starting to catch on, right, that if they can be a little friendlier to the musicians and vendors, that they'll have a little more vendors. They've changed their management there, so the management does seem a little better. But one of the big problems still is that they've doubled the fees. Okay. So it's basically $80 for a vendor to vend, and you know that's probably 4 to 5 times more than the fees at other markets. Yeah. And then the other problem is that I heard today that the vendors who want to bring their car with them, which they really need to do on hot days and cold days because they need some protection from the elements. And of course it helps vendors who want to pull inventory from their car, that they now have to have a $500,000 liability insurance for their vehicle. No way. And that the restaurants, now there are some outdoor restaurants that have regular restaurants elsewhere and they sell food here, but a lot of them don't. Like they just, you know, sell at the market, that they're told they have to have $1 million of liability insurance. Oh man, too much. So they're, I think, unnecessarily raise the fees and increase the rules and the burden on the vendors, and that increases their cost of doing business, and consequently the market is only about 1/4 to 1/3 full. It should be 100% full, because there's less space here than at the old market, but it's only a 1/3 fill. And when I ask vendors how's business, like they say slow, because the prices have to be higher here, because the vendor have higher fees of doing business. So the market is doing okay, but I think it's on a slow downhill slide. But they can turn it around, and the way to turn it around is to reduce the vendor fees, make it even more friendlier for people to come here. And we're in the midst of 10% unemployment, I think, for Illinois and Cook County. It's over 10% unemployment, and they should be going to churches and community groups on the south and west side, which has double the unemployment rate. That's the average, and inviting people to vend here either for free or say a very nominal $1 fee or $5 fee, maybe on a trial basis for 4 or 5 times to see if they can make money. And this should be operating as a safety net for the unemployed and poor in Chicago. And instead it's run as a more upscale market. It still has some flavor of the old market, but every year, every week, less and less of that flavor.
Okay, Steve, I saw Chainsaw DuPont inside. There was another group. I guess I missed them. You know who that might have been?
No, I don't, but it was nice to see Chainsaw here. Over here, the music you hear is of Lori and Don, who used to play at the old Maxwell Street Market, and they're playing here because they're officially outside of the market, so they can come and go, and they don't have to adhere to all the unnecessary rules that the market has about when you have to be here, when you have to leave. Like musicians will come and sit in, sometimes some really good musicians, and most of the better musicians have CDs to sell. Well, if you're over there at the New Market, they'll make you pay an $80 fee to sell a CD, where here no one bothers them.
I noticed Jim Johnson, James Washington, some of those guys are still over on the other side there. On the other side, they're playing over there. James Washington.
I don't know if they're there today.
Yeah, I did. I saw them. Yeah.
You know, but again, they're outside of the market.
Right.
And in the old Maxwell Street Market, of course, people can be inside or outside of the market. And the business people who kind of influenced the policy of the old Maxwell Street Market knew that blues music was good for business, and it still is good for business. And I was just watching, I was talking to some shoppers today. I was helping out at the Maxwell Street Foundation booth, and they were from France, and they were really interested, and they came here not to buy gym shoes or eat tacos. They came here because, you know, they're worldly and know about world culture, and they wanted to see something of Chicago blues. And so they got a little bit of it here, you know, but there could be a lot more.
Okay. Well, thank you, Steve.
Okay.